Well, good morning. Today, we look at why is the reaction to Donald Trump from the left so loud and why is it so hostile? And so, let's be honest, unhinged. Why? That's what we're going to explore. Now, let's get started by being truthful. Um, yes, the right was hostile to Barack Obama, no doubt, but it was different, had a different thing to it. You remember the Tea Party protests? Yes, because I was a member of all. I was part of all that. You remember the "You Lie" by Joe Wilson? God, I hated that, but it happened. You remember the grumbling about his birth certificates? That, of course, Trump went forward with that, but that got brought to the light by the Hillary Clinton campaign. But you remember all that stuff, right? But most of the reaction to Barack Obama was about policy, Obamacare, and other things, ideology, and government overreach. The Trump backlash, it's become a spiritual exorcism for the left. Trump wasn't just opposed; he's demonized. He's not just wrong; he's evil. He didn't just have bad. He just doesn't have bad policy. He's a white supremacist. They didn't say, they don't say we disagree. They say he's a threat to democracy. Really? All right. Here are 5 reasons, I think, why the left loses their mind when talking about Donald Trump. First of all, Donald Trump wasn't supposed to win. He was not supposed to win. Hillary Clinton was supposed to win. She was coronated. Everybody, everybody in the media said that this could be such an embarrassing loss for Donald Trump that the Republican Party may not recover. She had the media, she had the major donors, she had the Hollywood machine, um, she had all the DC cocktail circuit, she had everything. And then along came Trump, brash, orange, unapologetic. He just bulldozed all over it. To the left, it wasn't just an upset, it was a personal insult. 2, he refused to play by their rules. I remember where after he won the Republican primary, the idea was now he's going to look more presidential. Remember way back when, back in 2016, I guess, he was going to be more presidential. I think that lasted for like a day and a half. And it was like, nah, can't do it. Can't do it. So he didn't kiss the media ring. He didn't play nice with the bureaucracy. He insulted their sacred cows, even their sacred institutions. And he won. Number 3, Trump took their base, working class folks, union guys, disaffected Blacks and Latino voters. They started showing up in the Make America Great Again hats. And that was and still is an unforgivable sin because these folks were supposed to be Democrat votes. Number 4, the left mistakes losing control for tyranny. And as I look through all the social media and how the left is just losing it, it's because those places that they used to own, they have to share. And they're like little kids, they don't want to share. So because they don't have control over everything, then there must be tyranny. So to them, democracy means they're in charge. So when they say things like Trump is a threat to our democracy, you hear what they're saying. Trump is a threat to us and our control, which is true. It's just not democracy. So when Trump won and started reshaping the courts, the agencies that we see now, the conversation, they call it fascism. Well, you'll notice Trump didn't arrest journalists. He didn't ban speech. He didn't mandate vaccines. The people screaming dictators were the ones that were pushing censorship on YouTube, here on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter. Those were the people who were screaming censorship, and those were the people who were screaming mandates. Number 5, the left controls the culture, but not reality. The left dominates the media. The left dominates universities. The left dominates entertainment. The left dominates the narrative makers. But Trump reminded America that narrative and reality aren't always the same thing. He bypassed them in the beginning with Twitter, which is why they had to get him off Twitter, right? He mocked them from the podium. When he's pointing back, he's on the stage and pointing back at the press square and saying, they're the fake news. You are the fake news. Wow. So he shattered their illusion of control. And that's why they still can't let him go. There's another layer. There's this thing that we're living in now called the outrage economy. CNN, MSNBC, New York Times, they loved Trump as a villain. They loved him as a villain because you've got to have a spy versus spy, right? They made billions pushing democracy dies in darkness hysteria. Every tweet became a constitutional crisis. Every speech was some sort of white nationalism. Every conservative became a potential Nazi. This wasn't politics anymore. It was tribal religion. And the media was the high priest. Add to that TikTok rage mobs, corporate DEI agendas, punching Nazi in the face activists. And you've got this perfect storm, this perfect crap storm of unhinged performative rage. Now, people ask me all the time, so Willie, what should we do? Well, there's a couple of things. There's a couple of things not to do. Yes, the left is losing their minds, but we have to avoid certain things if we want to win the hearts and minds of people, not just the headlines. Most of the time, do this, write this. I've got a few things, at least 3 things here. First of all, do not take the bait. Do not take the bait. They want to get us angry. They want us to act out in a negative way because they need the footage of violent right-wingers for their narrative. Don't give it to them. Just don't give it to them. Be disciplined. Be relentless. Be peaceful warriors. Do not give them what they want. Do not. Number 2, please don't idolize politicians. Don't put these people up on pedestals. Trump's a fighter. We like Trump, but he's still a dude. He's still a man. He's just a dude. We lose when we turn movements into messiahs. The left worships politics. and politicians. Let's not mirror that. Number three, don't fight fire with arson. Responding to cancel culture with our own purity tests or blacklists doesn't build a movement, it builds a cage. It builds coalitions. Please don't burn bridges for clicks and likes. All right. Now, here are 4 things that we should be doing. We should be speaking, number 1, speaking truth boldly without apology. No more tiptoeing around, no more, well, I'm not political, but say what you believe. Say it with facts. Say it with courage. Let me give you an example. When someone on the left says, with all these migrants being deported, who's going, our food bill is going to go up because who's going to pick all these crops? So you go, So you say we'll pick our crops or automation will pick our crops, but do you really want a second class group of citizens just to pick your crops, just to be a nanny for your kids, just to be your landscape people? Do you really want a whole group of people who just do that? Because if we deport these people, that's where you see them? Weird. Number 2, win locally. Lord have mercy. Been saying this for so long. School boards. You wonder what's going on in education in America. It starts the school boards. It doesn't start in the White House. It starts the school boards. It starts in your backyard. City councils, county commissions, state legislatures. The left built their machine from the ground up. We need to stop waiting for Washington to save us. The couple of times that I ran for county commission, the seat that I ran for was the seat of the area that I live in. And unfortunately, when that seat is up for reelection, it's always a presidential year. And the hardest part is that once the presidential election starts in earnest, it sucks all the air and money out of every room. You can't get anyone to pay a tick of attention, especially if you were in a race from a Republican standpoint like myself, where you needed all the help you could get. You needed all the attention that you could muster. But all the focus, and this isn't just with the rank and file, this is with local leadership as well, is on the national election. Not even, when I say national, I'm not even talking as much about the congressional election every 2 years, because that's going on too. It's the president. That's all they can care about. That's all they care about. City council, county commission, school board, not sexy, not exciting. Doesn't give you the big dopamine boost. But if you don't win school board, if you don't win city council, you don't win mayoral races, you don't win county commissions, forget it. You're cooked. You're cooked. Washington can't come and save us. We had to start by saving our own communities. He came to me to say during that time that we get so much talk about, well, take back our country. You can't take back your country if you can't even control your own community. Take back our country. I would just tell people, shut up, because that's not what you mean. You don't mean that at all. You're just parroting that. Because if you were interested in taking back your country, You'd be more interested in controlling your school board. You'd be more interested in controlling your city council. You'd be more interested in controlling your county commission and state legislature. You'd be more involved there if you were serious. But a lot of times we're not serious. All right. I have a personal thing there, don't I? Number 3, create and support parallel institutions. This is something else that sticks in my craw a little bit. Don't just complain about Hollywood. Make movies. Support Angel Productions. Support them. Don't just curse the media. Build podcasts. Support podcasts. Support people who do independent conservative media. Because most of the times you can support them by simply subscribing. And I'm not talking about subscribing like we subscribe to Prime, Amazon Prime, because that costs money. Subscribing to someone on YouTube means that you click the subscribe button and nobody asks you for a penny. And we find that we can't do that. You can't watch an 8-minute video to give somebody a watch on YouTube or a watch on Rumble. We're too busy. And because it's not someone you've seen before, it's not Sean Hannity, it's not Charlie Kirk, it's not somebody you've seen before. Yeah, do I sound better? I am. Support platforms like Fightback Media, Rumble, big ones like The Blaze, Daily Wire, your local conservative churches and businesses. Create parallel institutions. Don't just be mad at Target, because at Target, they're okay with grown men being in dressing rooms with little girls. Shop somewhere else. Who thinks that's madness? Support somebody else. Because here's what you don't believe. Culture will beat politics over time. Andrew Breitbart said that politics is downstream from culture. Culture affects politics. So we got to raise strong children. Got to teach them truth. You cannot decide well and throw your hands up and abdicate your responsibility to the schools, to the school districts, to television, to social media. You got to raise your own children. You have to train them in logic. And that may mean training yourself in logic first. And you've got to make them courageous. So they're not afraid. So they're not afraid of crumbling when the pressure's on. So the best response to leftist indoctrination is bold Christian parenting. All right. The left's reaction to Trump has been loud, angry, and violent because he dared to pull the curtain back. He exposed their weaknesses. He exposed their hubris. He exposed their house of cards. And they are never going to forgive him for it. Let me say this clearly. The answer is not rage. It's resolve. The answer isn't retreat. It's rebuild. And the answer is not revenge. It's revival. We don't beat the left by becoming like them. We beat them by standing firm, by telling the truth and building something better. And that's what we're doing right here, every day. My name is Willie Lawson. This is the Morning Report. Stay sharp, stay bold, stay free.